Let's take a tour of NASA Plus. You've probably heard of Disney Plus, and you've probably heard of other streaming channels that have a plus after them. NASA is another one, and NASA Plus actually has website features for great videos in the classroom in science and math and overall STEM concepts. So you may not have something for your particular content area in here, but you might find something for a colleague. And there's really just interesting things to explore. So it's not super easy to navigate. There's a little bit of trick to it, but let me give you a quick tour. We're at the plus.nasa.gov, and notice I don't have to have an account. I don't have to create classroom space setups, anything. It's just you're in and you're ready to go. We're going to be looking right up here in the top of the website, and we're going to pop over into exploration topics. You'll notice that there are pieces from the solar system to news and events, kids. If we pop over to kids, you're going to see smaller focused video pieces. This is a new series on black holes that are all animated, science elements with kinetic energy, different elements of the Webb telescope. They unpack things like silicone, which is used in a telescope. There's one on gold in here as well. So it's a little bit of periodic elements along with how the James Webb Telescope works. Engineering pieces, junior astronaut training. So it's like, how does one survive in space, which I know is one of our standards that we need to cover. So you can explore by topics if you wish, and there is not an easy way to just narrow that down without just clicking through and seeing what's here, okay? But here's the other section, is explore the series. These are different television series that are on NASA Plus, and where they have created smaller vignette pieces here in the website. But there might be a couple of gems in here that you would find interesting. For example, Why with Nye. Remember Bill Nye the Science Guy? Yep, he's got a new series that is on NASA Plus. These videos will give you a tour of what he is covering, and notice they're very recent posts. So it's kind of exciting to see Bill Nye back in the game of making films or television series. So this is a new series with a few little clips here and there. I'm guessing you can watch the entire series if you install the NASA Plus app on your Roku or Apple TV or something like that. But a few little gems in here that way. A couple of the ones I think are interesting is Sci Girls. This is middle school, I would say actually 4th through about 9th grade that this would cover. Giving a chance for girls to see the fascinating thing about being a STEM focused explorer. There's just really good pieces in here. And again, more recent posts. I have a theory that if we pop back in here in a few months, you would see a new set of videos being featured, but it's worth exploring in here. Another one that I thought was kind of interesting was Moon 101. As the Artemis mission is gearing up as we try to prepare to go back to the moon, this is going to give you a history of the Moon Apollo program and some of the other pieces happening on the moon, the lunar surface, the poles, which I know covers some of our space science content in the district. Then one other one that I thought was interesting is demonstrations. This one is going to give experiments of how things are being done on the space station, some with just moon phases or sleep science. Newton's first law of motion. Great science experiments being done with video. And that's just a few of the great things in here. The one high above, down under, this is going to Australia and looking how they're using rockets to explore from Australia, and then putting that into a culturally responsive piece with the indigenous peoples of Australia. There's some interesting pieces along in this as well. You can search videos in here, but you need to keep it around what's going to be in that NASA kind of focus. So climate change, physics, elements. Sometimes you can do things like earthquakes, all the pieces that kind of you think that NASA would have a connection to, like obviously planets. That's where you're going to find these pieces. So I'm just going to type in Mars because that's a big topic that a lot of students are fascinated about. And now I have the ability to narrow it down. If I want to look at it by the series, there's actually a series called Mars in a Minute. These are animations that are just a minute long. I would say they're definitely more a secondary level, not so much elementary. But if I wanted to see the kids kind of focus, there's your options to come into those pieces. Oh, my primary friends. I forgot. There is one series in here that I think you will truly enjoy. And if I can find it, you'll probably find it before than I can, find it before I do. But there is Elmo Visits NASA. That's what I was looking for. And we've got a few short pieces in here where Elmo gets to explore NASA as well. So you might find some good things in here for yourself, if not for a colleague. One other little tip and trick is when these play, when you actually go dial into them, you're going to get a little bit of information over on the left. But when you hit play, they automatically go to full screen, which I thought was really nice for your projections in your classroom. If you want to share those with students, if you want to give it to them in Seesaw, Google Classroom, Canvas, or Teams, whatever you're using, this button right here, you can just copy the URL and drop that in the link for the students. So hope you enjoy a little NASA Plus tour.